Kashi looks forward to the Kashi Tamil Sangam. This is obviously just manufacturing consent for the Tamil Nadu elections. And it's not going to work, by the way, just for the record. Tamil Nadu genuinely hates, we don't like Modi. We see Modi as an extension of North Indian rule over us. North Indian Brahminical rule over us. Modi is actually is the most extreme version of it. Like Modi's entire thing is that like all the Tamil Brahmins, the pro-BJP Tamil Brahmins rather, have basically attached themselves to Modi and the BJP because they're like, this is our best shot of running Tamil Nadu again.
विश्व की सबसे पुरानी भाषा
The union of the world's oldest language in the world's most ancient cities.
और विश्व के
He's saying Kashi, which is Varanasi city in Uttar Pradesh, right? And the world's oldest language, Tamil. After what happened to Periyar and Kashi, if any self-respecting non-Brahmin Tamil is to fall for Modi's PR move, they are dumb. No one's actually, dude, no one's going to believe this. I promise. Yeah, there's going to be like a handful of people that are like, oh, Modi's not that bad. But no one's going to fall for this. I said this before. If nothing else, I appreciate that Modi is triggering his base in order to try to appeal to Tamils. I appreciate the tiny little win of like Sangis losing their mind about Modi saying Tamil is the oldest language, right? There is no such thing as the oldest language. There's no such thing as like, this is the oldest language, that's the oldest language, this is the oldest language. The languages are not static things that exist in time, right? They evolve, right? We did not speak the same kind of Tamil that, the early Cholas did or the early Pandyas did. There's like one of those culture exchange weeks where they'll put up posters about Tamil food and dances in Kashi. Yeah, they probably will do that. I mean, this is just manufacturing consent because next year is the Tamil Nadu elections, Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly elections, and Modi is trying to do he's doing a special intensive revision in Tamil Nadu. He's basically trying to rig the elections in Tamil Nadu. So this is just like him, Maithili Thakur, all these people are just like doing PR for Tamil Nadu, basically. It's not, the charm offensive won't work in Tamil Nadu. It will not. It is the deep resentment towards the center, the deep resentment towards the north, has been instilled in Tamil Nadu for a very, very long time. Modi has appeased Muslims when push comes to shove. That's what makes him scary to me. Yeah, but this won't work. Like, he's already said, like, Tamil is the oldest language before. He tried to say, Yadu Mure, Yavrum Kelir. He's tried to say that before. Butchered it as well. Tamils didn't buy that then. This will not work. I promise you this won't work. But what's worth it is, once more, Tamil did not even have a script. This fraud is feeding 1,000 to Bihar and oldest to Tamil Nadu. Again, preaching lies about Tamil being the oldest language. Stop this nonsense. Tamil is not the oldest language. Calling Tamil as the oldest language is not only wrong, but also misleading. Tamil is not the oldest language. It is Sanskrit, and its oldest form, Old Rigvedic. Listen, if nothing else, just triggering these guys is good enough for me. Sometimes you just got to appreciate the wins that you can grab in the midst of all this insanity. Like, there is no oldest language, by the way. There is no such thing as the oldest language. Saying that something is the oldest language is just, it flies in the face of linguistics. That's not how that works. Tamil is a language that has a extensive literary history, right? 2,000, 3,000 some odd years or something, right? It's a language that has a long literary history, longer than most languages in the world. Tamil as a language didn't remain the same, right? Now, obviously, we can kind of understand Old Tamil as well, right? It's not so different that we can't understand what the is going on. Fascists with their eugenics and linguistics origin. No. So most linguistic movements in India usually come as a result of some upper caste, like the Kannada movement was largely sort of an upper caste sort of thing. A lot, the Marathi, the Kannada movement, a lot of these linguistic movements, Assam, if I'm not mistaken as well, also comes from basically the upper echelons of society. The Tamil movement is actually unique in that it was conjoined with social justice from the beginning. It was always part of a social justice narrative. It was always framed as this language of the people. It was this language of the masses. It was always this language of the oppressed. It was always framed that way. By the way, many people say that H.D. Deve Gowda is the worst PM. Do you think that assessment is based on Hindi chauvinism? I would say I don't know much about him to make an assessment. I'm going to be honest. But I would not be surprised that Hindi chauvinism would play a role in something like that. I don't know what the answer to that question is. The irony of this video being in Hindi, Well, I mean, okay, this is kind of stupid because he wants Hindi speakers to learn Tamil, which is not going to happen, by the way. Which, by the way, that's not going to happen for the record. Hindi speakers will never go out of their way to learn Tamil. This whole thing is he's trying to be like, oh, us North Indians love you too. We're trying to learn Tamil as well. See? So you should learn Hindi. It's him trying to do this bullshit unity nonsense. Modi to Tamil Nadu every single day. True. And keep doing it. Keep trying it. Keep trying it, Modi. Not going to work. See, this is like, here's the thing. This guy is 1000% a Tamil Brahmin. Drupad Harikrishnan. He is 1000% a Tambram that just despises Tamil Nadu with every single fiber of his being. The thing is, a lot of Tamil Brahmins have a disdain for the local population of Tamil Nadu. That's the thing. Because Deve Gowda didn't know Hindi, so they lambast him for it. Okay. If that's the reason they lambast him, yeah, that's stupid. I don't know anything about Deve Gowda's governance to say anything. I don't know what Karnataka was like under Deve Gowda. I would imagine Deve Gowda is like a stereotypical, maybe at best Sakdem kind of politician, but also probably very corrupt. That's my probably read on Deve Gowda, but I could be wrong. The only evidence from the Vaigay civilization is the oldest up to 300 BC, predates almost by 100 years before Vedic civilization could have reached southern India. Latest evidence for which is 200 BCE. So yes, Sangam Tamil might as well be older than Sanskrit. It doesn't matter. Like, again, what are we going to do with that information? The reason that information is relevant and the reason this is relevant to that is because it's used as, like, it's a way to draw a healthy boundary between Tamil Nadu and the Brahminical fold, right? The overall North Indian Brahminical fold. It's a good way of, it's the same way I feel like the purging of the Sanskrit words in Tamil, in the Tamil language, acted as linguistic praxis. They're means to an end, right? The Tamil poets and all the Tamil authors didn't simply just get rid of the Sanskrit words willy-nilly because they wanted to. No, there's a political goal behind it. It was to basically make Tamil the language of the masses. It was trying to basically separate Tamil from this Brahminical fold, right? From Brahminical rule. That's what the Tani Tamil Iyakam was about. And that political goal happens to coincide with anti-caste praxis. So in a way, I feel like, and this is probably my most controversial opinion for a South Indian, I think desanskritizing a language like Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, which is definitely possible, you can do it. I think it serves as a very good form of linguistic praxis, linguistic anti-caste praxis. That is my most controversial opinion. Most people will not agree with me on this, but maybe it's because I have a very Tamil Nadu-centric, Tamil brain perspective on this. Is it going to change a lot in the long term? Probably not. Sanskritization was enforcing the caste hierarchy. Yes, part of the reason that a lot of these languages are Sanskritized was for survival, because when the Brahmins came to the south, especially like Nambudiri Brahmins came to the south, the local spoken languages, which were mostly almost entirely Dravidian languages, they were viewed as inferior languages. The political power associated with those languages, whether it's Telugu, whether it's Kannada, whether it's Tamil, whether it's, I mean, Tamil is a bit different because they've always had this tradition, right? For a very, very long time. Tamil has always had this linguistic tradition for a very long time, right? Tamil is a bit different in that because it has that history to hold itself up, right? But Kannada, Telugu, and Malayalam Sanskritized early because of the fact that they needed to survive to stay relevant. I mean, I have a very controversial opinion on this, and lots of Telugus, Kannadigas, and Malayalis will absolutely not agree with me on this. They'll probably think that, like, dude, what the are you talking about? I think that desanskritizing Dravidian languages and prioritizing native words is a viable form of linguistic anti-caste praxis. One, it makes it more understandable to the masses. Like that's basically the reason. It's not one of those things where I'm like heavily attached to it. I just think it's a good idea. I'm not like saying this is the way things should be done. This is the way things have to be done. None of that. I'm just saying that desanskritized Malayalam will just be Tamil. No, I mean, but that's the problem. Tamils will like immediately jump on that and then they'll get Malayalis to be like, Tamils just don't know how, like, we do not know how to shut the up sometimes. Just let people cook for a second. Any native language that allowed itself to be Sanskritized were mostly absorbed or are in decline? No, not really. Sanskritization is what helped Telugu survive into the modern age. But it's because like it was either that or like completely remaining irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just my honest opinion on this.